So Andrew Schultz has been absolutely everywhere lately promoting his new comedy special. And I mean everywhere. From having Matt Damon do a commercial for his special to The Breakfast Club, he's on Megyn Kelly, he's on every podcast that exists, and telling anyone who'll listen about how being a dad has changed him. Like, we get it, bro, having kids is life changing. That's not exactly breaking news, man. And this media tour of his new special is just overkill. He's showing up everywhere saying the exact same things about being a dad, about cancel culture, and about his success. It's like he's got these 5 talking points that he just rotates through, complete with the weird same facial expressions and the hand gestures like every time. What's really getting tiresome is how he presents these super basic observations about fatherhood, like he's discovered some profound universal truth. Like, it's been brought up before on the internet, but like, he's really taking this thing to the next level. He'll say something like, yo, when you have a kid, everything changes. And then he'll just sit there and just talk about it like he just solved world hunger. Like, yeah, man, that's literally what everyone who's ever had a kid has said since the beginning of time. It seems so performative. Every time someone mentions anything about parenthood or asks him a question or responsibility, Schultz has to do this whole routine. The raised eyebrows, the slow head nod, and then going on this really long tangent about how parenting has changed him and how special it is. And with the whole, yo, like as if he just discovered fire. We get it, bro. You reproduced. The miracle of life is amazing. But you're acting like you're the first person to ever notice that babies are amazing and that babies grow. And have we noticed, like, lately how he's been even handling criticism lately? Anytime someone calls him out, and I'm pretty sure he knows about all the hate he gets online for totally selling out and doing all kinds of cringe behavior. But now when someone calls him out or disagrees with him, he immediately goes to the talking point of, oh, they're just hating because I'm successful. It's such a weird defense mechanism. Like, maybe some people don't just vibe with your weird, cringy style, man. Or maybe they're tired of seeing you do the same weird, mundane, philosophical face every time someone states obvious facts about parenting and your weird cultural takes. It's like there's this weird new phase of internet bro culture where becoming a dad is the ultimate flex. These podcast guys who used to compete over who's going to crack the lamest jokes or had the most outrageous stories are now trying to out-dad each other, and it's so funny. It's become this bizarre status symbol in the comedy podcast world, especially. Like, if you haven't had a kid and done 45 minutes on how you tried or on your birth story, are you even a real comedian or podcaster? And honestly, Schultz is the worst offender. He's turned being a dad into this weird competitive sports. Oh, you think you're tired? Try having a newborn and doing arena shows. Like, my man, single moms have been working 3 jobs and raising kids forever. But please tell us more about how you're revolutionizing fatherhood by having a nanny and doing podcasts. It's the same energy as when the dudes used to brag about their workout routines or their crypto investments, just taking a different form. Now it's just shifted into who can seem like the most evolved, enlightened dad, and they're still trying to out alpha each other somehow, just with the stories about changing diapers or how hard it was making a baby or making baby food or any kind of parenting things. This whole thing feels very performative. The performative masculinity has not gone away. It's just wearing a baby Bjorn now. Just look at how everyone has to pretend that this is some kind of groundbreaking revelation. It's almost getting uncomfortable to watch. The thing that's getting really unbearable is that how he treats every basic observation about life. He's uncovered some ancient wisdom. He'll sit there doing this thing with his hands and making these really long points that really don't make any sense, but he'll say it as if he's explaining quantum physics. Recently, I think I heard him say something on the Shannon podcast where he like, yo, but time, it hits so different when you're a dad. Then he'll pause for dramatic effect, looking around the room or just as if he's making this really profound statement in human history. My brother in Christ, man. You're describing what literally billions of people have experienced. There's nothing revolutionary about noticing that having your own kid changes your perspective on time. But Schultz will sit there. He's the first person to realize that watching your child grows up makes you more aware of your mortality. And it's getting worse. Every podcast appearance now has at least 3 moments where he'll interrupt the conversation to have a Schultz epiphany. Thank you, Shane Gillis. But about the most obvious things, like he's perpetually high. Like, yo, when you think about it, being responsible for another human life, that's crazy. Okay, man. The worst part is about how he's trying to position himself as this enlightened being now that he's a father. Somehow pushing a stroller has transformed him into some kind of philosophical guru. Bro, you're not Socrates. You're just a dude who had a kid. Join the club, man. Be normal about it. Stop acting like changing diapers is giving you some of the secrets to the universe. And the last thing I really want to talk about is let's talk about this whole Rogan comedy ecosystem for a second. It's wild how we've gotten this group of super mediocre comedians who somehow have the biggest platforms on the planet. Like these guys are interviewing literally presidents, billionaires, and A-list celebrities. But their actual comedy specials are literally painful to watch, and I doubt anyone even watches any of them. Schultz is just part of this weird phenomenon where being in Joe Rogan's circle basically guarantees you'll get millions of dollars, millions of views, regardless of whether you're actually funny or interesting. When I think about it, these guys are just recycling through each other's podcasts like it's a comedy carousel. One week Schultz is on Rogan, then on Bert's show, then Tom Segura's, then Whitney's, and they're all just saying the same things, making the same observations, laughing at each other's mid jokes. They've got more access and influence than any comedians in history. They can literally get the President of the United States on their show. That's crazy. But what are they doing? Making jokes about being a dad and nodding profoundly while someone explain what Instagram is? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure success is great and becoming a parent is a big deal, as I know from personal experience, but there's something to be said about the lack of self awareness right now. Schultz is just giving off major the guy who's discovered fire vibes every time he talks about the most basic aspects of parenthood or success or anything in general. So let me know, what do you guys think in the comments? Do you feel like Schultz is doing too much or am I just being a hater? Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you guys in the next video.